Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. Yes, this is truly theology week in the sense of the Greek word meaning talking or thinking about God, studying about God, the attributes about God, or the attributes of God. Get my preposition right. And this was recommended to me by Lorraine, who's a dear sister who listens to these. I love, by the way, anybody who sends me recommendations. I don't get to all of them, but I try to do the best I can within the format of what we've got here. So this week, I've been thinking about God. And on Monday, if you missed it, we talked about how God is infinite. And then on Tuesday, we talked about how God is immutable or unchanging. And today, I'm excited to talk about one of my favorite traits about God because it's one I didn't understand when I was young. And that's the revelation, God revealing himself as self-sufficient. In other words, he doesn't need you and he doesn't need me. Think about that for a moment. When I was young, I really didn't understand it. Because I think maybe in part, as a young person, you grow up needing. You know, we've got a 4-month-old granddaughter named Zoe, Greek word for life, by the way. And Zoe needs her mom and dad. She wouldn't survive. She wouldn't live without it. But then Gracie and JT, who have Zoe, also have the twin girls that are 2. And those twin girls still need Gracie and JT. Wouldn't survive without them. They've got a son who's about to turn 4. And John Henry still needs Gracie and JT. So I grew up needing my parents and just assumed everybody needs something. And when I put it on my brain about God, I was thinking, well, what does God need from me? Maybe God needs my attention, my worship, my praise. No, God's no egotistical narcissist God who wants it everybody to suck up to him and make him like feel good. That's not God. And I thought, well, maybe God needs me because he's bored. And, you know, it's kind of like he created humanity and it's one big TV show in many different languages and many different cultures. But no, God's not needing a TV show to watch. He's not bored. The Christian idea of God as 3 in 1 says that God communicates within God. Even taking aside the Trinity, take the Jewish perspective from Genesis 1. God speaks within himself, says, let us make people in our image. So God doesn't need us for communication. He doesn't need us for entertainment. He doesn't need us for worship. And the scriptures go to a great extent to teach this. For example, Psalm 50 is loaded with it. God says, all the cattle on all the hills are mine. I don't need you, audience there, to sacrifice a cow to me like I'm hungry or something. God says, in fact, if I was hungry, I wouldn't tell you. Because you got nothing to offer me. I'm God. And think about it. He speaks and worlds come into being. God doesn't need you and me. And yet the perplexing part of this is he still made us, and he still relates to us, and he's gone to great lengths to do so. Why? God doesn't need us, but God created us not to get something, but to give something. God, in his deep nature, is a giving God. And so he creates humanity not because he gets something out of it, but because he can put something into it. And we're a wonderful creation that reflect him and his glory when we're at our best, when he's working in our lives. And that is something that comes from him putting into us. It's not something we're doing for him. So trait for God, he's self-sufficient. He doesn't need you. He doesn't need me. But heavens, we sure need him. And that's your video thought for today.